Welcome to this Solutions Architect mock interview with Exponent. I'm super excited to be here with Mohammed. Mohammed has actually been on our show years ago, so it's super exciting to have you back. Before we jump into this mock interview, Mohammed, can you share with the viewers a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, hey everyone, my name is Mohammed Hussein. I am a solutions architect at Dropbox, specifically supporting their e-signature product and HelloSign. Before this, I was working at Salesforce, where I was a solutions architect there, focusing on the Salesforce platform. So I've been doing this for about 3 years now, and I absolutely love it. It's a great combination of being technical while getting to work with customers at the same time.
And Mohammed, without further ado, I'd love to kind of do a technical discovery call with you. And so these interviews, maybe you can share a little bit more about the context for these interviews and how they come up in solutions architect interviews before we kind of jump into it. So first of all, yeah, like how often do these come up and what are they sort of like?
Yeah, so the technical discovery is probably one of the most important parts of being a solutions architect. So a lot of the times when you're going through an SA interview, they want to see how well are you when asking thoughtful questions to customers. They want to see what your technical knowledge is, but they also want to see your honesty. So they want to see if what sort of your breaking point is or your tipping point. So they might ask you a question that you won't know the answer to, and they want to see how you want to react to that. And Stephen and I will kind of role play that as we do the actual technical discovery. But really what they're trying to see is how well are you able to build a relationship with the customer while also getting the requirements for a follow-up call where either you'll demo a product or you'll give out a solution to the customer in some sort of way.
Cool. All right, well, without further ado, let's jump into it and we can kind of debrief after. So I'll be role-playing as a customer for this call, and I'll be like your interviewer. And to simulate the environment a little more, I got a hat, so I can put on this hat. I'll no longer become Steven, and I'll become Steve, your sort of customer. But maybe you can set us up for this scenario, Mohammed, before I go ahead and do that, and then you can kind of start asking me questions.
Yeah, so I'll go through a technical discovery with a customer who uses Salesforce. And in particular, they want to learn more about some of the security features that Salesforce has, as well as some of the data integration options that Salesforce has as well. So when we start role playing, I'll be giving a recap of the conversation that Stephen, or Steve in this case, had with our sales rep, and then going through with the technical discovery from there.
Cool, sounds good. And I'll be a little bit maybe annoying as Steve, so apologies in advance, Mohammed. Excited to get started. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Cool. Well, hey, Mohammed. Yeah, I'm excited to chat with you about this. Thanks for taking the time. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, Steve, it's really great to be meeting with you. I know that you talked to our sales rep last week and they'd forwarded over some notes to me. Just to give you some context, as a solutions architect, I work very closely with our sales team to have a better technical understanding of what our customers here at Salesforce are looking for, and then taking a look at the solutions that we have and helping you, basically create a solution that will better help you connect with your customers at the end of the day. So basically the notes that my salesperson gave me, and I just want to confirm with you that they are up to date and they're accurate, is that you guys have been using Salesforce as your source of truth, kind of your customer 360. So being able to view your customer specifically in sales and customer success. And sometimes your product team will also refer to data within Salesforce from time to time. You guys also are using a connector to connect your Salesforce org to an external data warehouse, as well as you have integrations with existing SaaS or software as a service tools. And you guys have that built out either through custom built integrations or pre-built integrations from Salesforce's App Store, the App Exchange. And one of the big things that you guys are concerned about, especially with your Salesforce instance, is the compliancy. So making sure that all the data within Salesforce is compliant, because you guys are looking to expand in Europe, Middle East, Africa, as well as the APAC markets. And overall, just make sure that your Salesforce org is as secure as possible, because you have very sensitive customer information in there. So I know I went through a lot, but I just want to make sure that everything that my salesperson gave me sounds up to date and is accurate.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, we're just really worried about malicious actions with our data. So like, we really want to make sure we cover that, or make sure that that's covered in this conversation too. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ask you a couple of questions so that before I go ahead and give you any sort of solutions, just getting a better understanding of how you guys are using Salesforce today, specifically with the data. So compliance, of course, we all want to make sure that our data is compliant. What are some of the top compliance needs that you guys are looking to be compliant with?
Yeah, so we carry a lot of personal information, financial information and credit cards and things like that. And so we want to make sure our data is encrypted at rest.
Okay, okay, for sure. Yeah. So out of the box, Salesforce will encrypt some data at rest, but we do have additional features and functionalities which will encrypt that data in rest. And again, I can talk to you a little bit more about that in a follow-up call, but I just want to let you know that those options are out there. Now, I know that you guys are having a connection with a data warehouse. What tools are you guys using to connect from Salesforce to that data warehouse? And then which data warehouse option are you guys using? Are you guys using Snowflake, something from AWS? What are you, tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we built our ETL tool in-house, and it connects to the Salesforce API. And we take the accounts and contact data, and then we put it into the data warehouse that we have.
Okay, and then that data warehouse is that Snowflake? Is that from Amazon?
Yeah, we use, actually, hold on, let me remember. I actually don't remember which one we use. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Is that okay? I can go figure it out really quickly if needed, but.
So we can follow up with that online. Just if you would mention one, that would have been helpful. But no, we can definitely follow up with you.
You know what? I think it actually is Snowflake. I'm pretty sure it's Snowflake. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we definitely have some solutions there that Salesforce and Snowflake have a connection that we can definitely talk about a little bit later. But the ETL tool that you had mentioned, what's the maintenance on that looking like? Do you guys have a dev team that's fully dedicated to updating it, maintaining it? What does that sort of look like?
To be totally honest, I didn't even know we need to maintain it that much. Yeah, so it's not really maintained at all. Yeah.
Okay. And has that caused any sort of issues when it comes to maintenance or updating it? Like, do you guys see it crashing at all? Like, does it work smoothly every single time?
I will say it does work on and off, but just like, to be honest, we're like, in terms of business priorities, it's just been hard to make the time to prioritize that. But it is critical for our business, but we haven't been able to spend many cycles on it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good to know. Are there any security concerns? Because I know that security was something that you guys were really concerned about. Are there any security concerns with the ETL tool, like data leakage or anything like that?
We are concerned about data leakage, but there's nothing like in particular we're concerned about. It's more just like we're generally unsure about the security and want to make sure we're covered, basically, in case of a bad outcome.
Okay, awesome. That's good to know. That helps a ton. Want to go back to the Salesforce specifically side of things. In terms of security right now, what protocols do you guys have in place to ensure your Salesforce org is as secure as it can be?
Yeah, so we have restricted IPs, and we restrict login hours, and then we also use two-factor with Okta. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so those are really great steps to take. I also do want to let you know that out of the box for free, you don't have to pay for this feature. You're able to get a security health check of your Salesforce org. So whether you or whoever the Salesforce admin is, you guys can go into that tool. It's right within settings, and then you're able to get a score. I think it goes A, B, C, D, and then you can take a look at the security health of your Salesforce org. But just want to let you know that's something
super cool. Could I check a look at that right now? Is that possible to look at that on this call?
So it's for your Salesforce org. I don't have the credentials for your Salesforce org, so that's something that I can definitely send you some resources. I think we might have some YouTube videos on how to do that. I can send those to you after this call for sure.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So my next question right now actually kind of plays into what I just had mentioned. What existing resources are you guys using to maintain your Salesforce org? Do you guys have a Salesforce admin? Have you worked with any partners in the past? Or even currently right now? What do those resources look like for your Salesforce org?
Yeah, so to be honest, we worked with an implementation partner before, but we didn't have a good experience, and we sort of didn't really go with the recommended partner on that. And we do have a Salesforce admin on our staff. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Okay, that's always good to know, just because with some of those solutions that are coming to mind right now, and then of course when I after this call, when I fully take a look at the notes again, it's always good to know what the resources are, so that when it comes to giving you the solutions, we can evaluate whether or not that's something that your admin is able to fully do, or or if we need to get another implementation partner involved. But when it comes to data within Salesforce, a lot of the times we see customers, keeping track of changes of the data within Salesforce. So, for example, contact information like name, phone number, email. They'll keep a record of that. Is that something that you guys are doing? Are you guys keeping track of changes within Salesforce?
So we do use an out-of-the-box audit trail, but we don't archive the data. I know we probably should do that, but we don't actually do that. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And then when it comes to that data, a lot of the times, of course, customers are running reports within Salesforce as well. Are you guys running any reports within Salesforce?
We run forecasting reports and pipeline, but yeah, but maybe not super frequently. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then are those reports or any data within Salesforce in general, are you guys allowing users to share those reports or export the data within Salesforce as a whole?
So to be honest, Mohammed, we're concerned because I think we've had stuff before where sales reps actually ripped the data and then took it to a competitor, and then they deleted records from our Salesforce org. So yeah, I'm not sure, and this is kind of why we're having this conversation on security too. I think I'm sort of unsure, concerned about that with reports and things like that. And I'd be curious to hear if you have any solutions to that.
Yeah, no, so definitely. I'll give you a little idea now that I have a better understanding of what it is that you guys are looking for. We do have a product that you guys are able to purchase as well, and I can have my sales rep kind of go through the pricing about that in the next call. But we do have a security bundle that we can definitely show to you guys in a follow-up call and kind of get your thoughts on it. But it can really help you with ensuring that your data is encrypted fully at rest, being able to archive any sort of changes that are happening within your Salesforce org, as well as getting alerts for when users are exporting any sort of data or reports in Salesforce, as well as using some conditional logic to make sure that if a report is being exported with X amount of rows of data and whatnot, that you can go ahead and block that action. But I'll definitely make sure that we set some time up sometime next week. I'll hand it over to my sales rep to get a follow-up call scheduled for this.
Got it. And Mohammed, I guess just since I'm a busy professional and stuff, is there a chance to get a sense of what the price is right now on this call instead of waiting until the next call?
So that's not something that I would really handle. That's something that my sales rep would be able to handle. So I'll let them know that you guys are interested in pricing right now, and then hopefully by the end of the day we can get some quotes out to you.
Okay, that'd be really helpful. And can you, I guess, I just want to make sure it's all encrypted safely. Can you tell me about the specific encryption tools or keys that are used in that experience?
Yeah, so I can tell you a little bit about it. So we do encrypt, like I said, at rest. I believe it's 256-bit encryption. We give you access to the API keys. Again, I can talk a little bit more about that when we go ahead and showcase the product to you. And then I can also send you some resources that we have that might be able to answer some more of your questions.
Got it. Okay, that's super helpful. Yeah, I have a bunch of like other technical questions. Like, can I just ask you random questions on this call if we want to get into the nitty gritty or? Um,
I'm open to answering a couple of them. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably may not know the answer to every single one of them, but I know we do have a little bit more time. So any other questions you may have regarding security or anything with Salesforce, I'm more than happy to handle.
okay, yeah, that's all right. I think this is helpful so far. Yeah, is there anything else that like I should ask you or would be helpful to talk about in this call?
I think I have everything that I need. So, like I said again, I'll go ahead, take a look at this, and then more than happy to show you the product sometime next week. But yeah, it was really great working with you, Steve.
Cool. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. I'll take off my hat. Okay, so you can take a breath, Mohammed. Like, how was that for you? Like, how typical was that? How did you think you did? And yeah, maybe we can debrief the call a little bit.
Definitely very typical and felt real. I kind of sort of even stumped myself when I asked you the question about the data warehouse. I wasn't fully expecting you
Yeah.
to give a response for that, and I saw myself stumble a little bit, which 100% totally happens, whether it's in an interview or even once you go past the interview stage and you're actually speaking with customers. 100% of the time, like something like this would happen. You are going to stumble, you are going to mess up, but just get back up on your feet and just keep on going.
Yeah, I think that was great. I mean, like, I don't know how typical it is that people just forget the entire database that they're like, the tools that they're using. So I was kind of like trying to mess with you a little bit. And I thought you did a couple, maybe just to debrief, like a few other things I think you did really well. I thought you objection handled really well in a lot of cases. Like, I was asking you for a price. And I think what I really loved about your response is that you not only you made me feel heard, like you got what I was saying. You were just saying no, and you made me get a sense that I get it priced today, or like I'll get that information today. And then I also felt safe and sort of like confident in your ability to actually get that information for me, or like to move that for me. So I thought that was really great, and I'm sure that like I could have pushed you more on that, but I think that response actually calmed me down a lot and didn't make me feel a need to do that actually. Yeah. Other things, I thought you clearly seemed knowledgeable and you were able to speak to the various pieces of information and you provided enough information without needing to go into too much detail. And like you probably don't want to spend all the call talking about the security implementations and all that kind of stuff. And instead, I thought you got to the high level and you really took control of the conversation in a lot of ways, which I thought was really really effective. Um, and then yeah, I think I as like a Steve, like I felt like was heard on the call. Like you were really listening to me and curious and trying to understand and trying to recommend solutions to me as well. So yeah, I thought you did a great job with that too. Yeah, anything else that you reflected on from that conversation or things that you thought went well or maybe you would change or improve?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I would change, and I think this just is just the way I talk naturally, is slow down a little bit. Um, when I talk, just because I find myself talking very fast sometimes, and I don't know if that's because I grew up in the East Coast and people from the East Coast tend to talk pretty fast sometimes. But I think just taking my time to talk, it also allows me and just people in general to catch your breath, just so that you don't have like to gasp for air while you're talking. Um, but yeah, no, I just to kind of comment on some of your feedback there. One of the big things that they really are looking for when you're interviewing and just when you're talking to customers in general, like, of course, the technical piece is really, really key. But like you said, making sure that the customer is being heard is a huge part about being a solutions architect because you're the one that's really building the trust with the customer. The customer sees the salesperson as someone who, like a typical salesperson, like, oh, this guy just wants my money at the end of the day, right? They don't want to like, sell me a solution or something, which, may or may not be true. But with a solutions architect or solution engineer or sales engineer, whoever that technical person is that's on that call is the one who's really building that trust and that relationship with that customer because they see you as the expert, as the technical expert as that technical voice of the customer. So building a relationship with your customer, and especially building trust with your customer, is really, really key and really important in this technical solutions role.
Totally. And I think we didn't have as much time to do that in this conversation, but I mean, even at the very end, one small thing that you did when I was mentioning the competitor, like the fact that people left the company and stole our data, you were kind of like, oh man, that sucks. And like, I think if we had more time, I would love to have even seen more of that with you, like of just like, oh, like that really sucks, like tell me about it, and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, like you're kind of balancing like this emotional connection with also like wanting the call to go efficiently and not wanting to spend forever on the call too. But I think that kind of stuff was nice because made me feel a little heard. I was like, oh yeah, that does suck. Like it was really painful. So I think that kind of stuff was really great.
Yeah. Any opportunity you can get to build empathy, or build that relationship with the customer is really key. But like you said, you don't want to dig yourself into a rabbit hole and spend the entire time that's allotted for this call on one topic when you're supposed to talk about a variety of topics. Being able to manage the time on the call and parking lot certain things, or letting the customer know like, hey, I don't know the answer to this question, let me get back to you, is super key, because this time is very valuable for you, for the salesperson, and then also the customer at the end of the day. So yeah, you always want to make sure that you're aware and cognizant of that.
Awesome. Well, it was great having you. And for folks watching, if you want to view more of this content, you can check us out at tryexponent.com. And you can check out our courses for interview prep on system design. And we're also launching a solution architect course soon as well. Great. Well, thank you for watching. And thanks, Mohammed, for being on the show. And for those of you watching, good luck on your upcoming interviews.